Welcome back, everybody, here to our coverage of the ESL. One is the USA Grand Final. The winner of this best of 5 will advance themselves through to ESL 1 Frankfurt. That means they'll be traveling to Germany, competing for over $150,000 prize cash. Let's get ourselves into the game. The draft's already underway, so let's bring in my co-caster quickly to explain what the hell is going on. Cinder and Man, welcome back for Game 3.
Mirana is aiming for her 60% win rate, is what's going on right now, I think.
Liquid playing the odds game? Is that what we're searching for now?
Well, it worked well last game. Why not try it again? Only this time, EG will not be getting Lycan because they chose to ban it. They're like, okay, whatever. We're not having enough success with it, and we don't want to give it away. So they try something different with Batrider and Shadow Demon. Not really that different, to be honest, but if I'm Liquid right now, I'm like, okay, last game went really well. The Venge was awesome for us against the Batrider. Maybe we just get it again and aim for the same kind of style. Or maybe they mix it up a little bit to not be too predictable, but I think considering how that last game went, they should try to play that same style. Early aggression, great stuns, great fighting, and then keep it cool until they can go high ground.
Well, let's see if they can do that in this game, man. Right now, EG, they're like still Batrider, Batrider SD. They've got combinations that don't reveal too much. I suppose that was kind of like something else I was interested about with EG's last draft. The fact they picked up all 3 cores straight from the start, revealed everything they were basically doing in the game. Straight from the get-go. And now Team Liquid are doing not the same, but they're grabbing themselves the Invoker. They've got themselves the Mirana. They're showing their hand just a little bit more than EG is here in the early stages. For the trade-off, though, it's well worth it. You got an Invoker and a Mirana, dude. I don't think anyone's going to be sad getting those 2 heroes.
I think this is a good way for Liquid to start off the draft. Of course, they don't have a support now, so EG can try to ban out supports that make it hard for Batrider. I would imagine both Venge and Disruptor being choices. To ban out the Venge first. We'll see if they choose the other one as well. And just make sure you enable the Batrider more than you did in the last game and draft around being able to fight with it. Because I feel like Universe actually had a good game, but they couldn't really make use of it. And with Lycan out of the picture, we might see a different kind of playstyle from EG where it's not just that they don't have Lycan, but they also don't need to worry about giving it away. So we're just going to play differently. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Shadow Fiend being on Arteezy this game, or just seeing... Oh, it gets banned by Liquid. Now I would be surprised to see it. I think Arteezy should play a carry-oriented hero. As in the first game where he played OD and did an excellent job. His Invoker was fine, as I mentioned, but it's just not the way that EG has had great success. It's mainly when Arteezy is playing these kind of heroes that just hit hard with farm. OD, Shadow Fiend are 2 of his best heroes, obviously, but there are also many other choices he can go for. Now, with Lycan being out, that's also one of his trademarks, but he plays so many different mid-heroes, and as long as they use farm really well to become carries later on, it's an Arteezy hero.
You didn't leave me much more to talk about, apart from saying Dro Ranger should have been added into Arteezy's list of great heroes.
True. That's one of the ones I didn't remember, you're right.
Yeah, just wanted to have that one in there. In this game, though, it's going to be so risky to even pick up that hero. Mirana leaping close, Invoker. He just runs around Invis right next to him, and you lose all your extra buff ups. But PPD, he's taking out the Nyx finally, and they pick up a Luna. So we get ourselves a lot more stable carry to come into the later portion of the game. Frees up a lot more as far as your lanes go too, because now you know that bottom lane's going to have a lot of power behind its last hitting effect, so Team Liquid's offlaner just became a lot more riskier to run. And who's really left? Like, I know we haven't even touched on Centaur at all for well, anything. He hasn't been banned or picked so far, if my memory serves me correctly. And then like you look towards your other offlaners, what is Bulba really going to be like looking for here?
Axe is just not the same in the offlane on the Dire. I think that kind of kills the hero if you do that. So Clockwork is, of course, a great Bulba hero, which is available. I think it... Okay, so
go for the Centaur.
Get our answer.
See,
I think he's going to have a hard lane.
This is one I'm not so sure about it, because this is a moment where I think like Dazzle is sitting on the edge here for EG, or they go in for the Enchantress Chen. So they get life points behind it, allow them to push out, but more importantly, it's the control over the Centaur. Rubik would be another one I'd throw in towards the mix, because they can just like pick him up, throw him back, and find enough DPS from all these heroes with a Luna buff up too, that they know they can kill off the Centaur and punish the overextension. And Centaur is one of these heroes that doesn't have a plan B. If he doesn't get farmed in the lane, if he gets zoned out, there is no plan B. So if EG can control the lane up nicely, or just kill off Centaur and take out these early towers, then there's real problems coming in for Team Liquid, because then Invoker's going to have his left flank completely open, and if he has a TP out, yep, DK can take out mid towers. It's a little bit more passive than the RTZ here I'd think of, but it's a lot easier to make a comeback if Team Liquid do get an early start in.
This is just such a classic pick for Evil Geniuses. You can't really get more in your comfort zone than this. They have everything they want. They have the Initiator for Universe. They have a strong both defensive and aggressive support in Shadow Demon. They have Arteezy on the Dragon Knight mid. Again, a farming hero who can be a carry later on and put pressure early on. Then the only thing that might be a little unusual for them is having the Luna for Mason. I don't feel like he plays it that much. I could be wrong. But overall, this is just such a solid draft. And I think you're completely right. Dazzle would be awesome for for Evil Geniuses. I think Liquid will ban it here. It's just perfect in this game.
Mm-hmm. But if they ban out the Dazzle, then the Rubik's picked up.
That's not too big of a worry, though, I think.
When you're stealing Centaur ulti and giving that to like Luna, Batrider, as well as Dragon Knight, the movement speed, then I'd be worried. Arrows to steal, Cold Snap, now Shadow Shaman's Mass Serpent Wards.
There are really good spells to steal.
Yeah.
In most games with Rubik, when you look over the enemy team, there's always going to be 3 of those amazing spells you can steal, because just so many spells in the game that get amazing when they don't really have a cast point anymore. With Rubik, the cast point is 0.01 seconds, so it's instant, basically. And that means the main thing you want to think about with Rubik is, of course, it's great to be able to steal key abilities, but you want to make sure you don't sacrifice your laning. And you're right, Rubik, Shadow Demon together could deal with Centaur, but at the same time, these two heroes should really be getting levels, and neither of them is really... You could jungle the Shadow Demon, actually, somewhat. He's pretty good at farming with Shadow Poison, so maybe that's an option to get levels, but yeah, they're going to ban it themselves, actually, so you know what? They didn't want it to. They want something else.
Which means they want... This makes TC's banning a lot easier. Just take out the Dazzle.
Yeah.
Take out the Dazzle.
100% get out. Yep. Get out the Dazzle. But I don't want to play against EG's lineup if they have a Dazzle now.
But then again, would you want to play up against that lineup if they also had a Chen? I know I've been harping a lot on the Chen and Enchantress, but when you got a Luna and a DK, you want some extra pushing power behind him.
Yeah, but the type... There we go. The type of pushing that they get with Chen is different. That's the classic EG again. It's like the last game, okay guys, we're up 1-0, we're going to try Arteezy's Invoker. It's definitely not his best hero. He's going to do... he wants to get better at it, he wants to practice it and play it in a serious game. We lost it.
Can they force aggro trialing with the Wraith King in this? Because you've still got Luna and SD, which can do a lot of... Like, they can cause a lot of problems for Team Liquid. Up against the Shadow Shaman Mirana, I know it's a little bit more cautious about it. No.
The question is there any reason to? I think Centaur can't get experience in this game, in the offlane. He can't even go in the lane. That's the problem. So here's the deal.
But then again, like, putting Batrider up against the Centaur, Batrider should still be able to keep the advantage of that lane. The problem I'm feeling is they do the same thing as they did for TC in the last game. They just give him so much space, and there's no pressure on the defensive lane that Team Liquid can move freely across the map and go, hey, we're not under pressure anywhere apart from our offlane, but it's okay if he dies once or twice, and then their offlane actually succeeded. So I'm looking for EG to actually dictate the rhythm of the game.
If I'm EG here, I look at Liquid's heroes, and I can see, okay, they don't have a chance at taking the tier 1 tower early, unless if they pick an Enchantress or Chen right now. So if they don't do that, if they don't pick a tower taking support, they just start with Batrider in the jungle. He gets levels there, they keep out Centaur from the game. He can't go in the offlane here if they run a Trilinese lane. Then sure, they're giving Mirana free farm, but they're getting that on Luna too. There you go. There we go. I like this pick. I think it's needed for Liquid to have something for early aggression, because if they sit back and farm, all my money is on EG. Okay, maybe not all my money, but you know what I mean. My money is on EG.
A reasonable amount of money which doesn't push...
I believe in them a lot.
A reasonable amount of money that doesn't put me in financial debt is how much I would put on EG right now.
So, with that Enchantress pick, I have a lot more faith in Liquid's lineup, and especially because of the way they played Game 1, where they used it very well. I think that's a good game plan here, and it makes sense for them. They, again, are running the risk of, if this game stalls out, they're going to lose late game, I feel. Again, because they have a Mirana carry with a Centaur against Dragon Knight Luna and a Wraith King support, who's actually a really strong support in late game because of Vampiric Aura. It's... And Batrider, never forget. And Shadow Demon, arguably top 3 late game support. You know, this is a no-brainer for me in late game, honestly. But if Liquid gets a good snowballing going, maybe they can win at 30 minutes. I don't think they should do what they did in game 1.
Stop halfway.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stop halfway. This time they're not pushing into a Doxia, but again, EG's lineup is hard to push into.
Yeah.
Shadow Poison, Batrider.
Because how are you even taking out the top lane? Because you want to force it with the Enchantress. He puts the Firefly down on the ground. You can't keep your creeps in close, bringing down the tower. And Mirana early on won't be able to force out the tower. If actually... I'm wondering who they leave on this bottom lane as they move down here as 5. Because I'm wondering if they even attempt to dodge. Put the Mirana, Shadow Demon, as well as the Enchantress down inside EG's jungle and bottom lane. With TC down there as well. Switch Quake for the mid. And put Bulba up on the north. Now, EG's smoking up to try and check out Liquid's jungle, so they can block this up and stop Enchantress, and maybe this is another point, like, Liquid know that EG's going to do something about this Enchantress. They won't just leave her there. So,
yeah, this is
smart
from Liquid. This is a good read on the situation here, starting in the Dire jungle, in the Radiant jungle. The only risk here for Way2 is if he gets caught out, he's dead. The support duo of EG can actually kill him alone, which...
they're backing up. They're backing up right now.
Oh boy, where does Way2 go?
He can't.
He just blocked the enemy jungle and his own jungle is blocked too. Do they have sentries? They do have 1 sentry on Demon.
That's